it's time for some real education. And this week, it's all about William Shakespeare. And so we're going to take a look at what some of the world's heavy hitters at the time had to say about our friend Billy. And today, we're going to take a look at John Dryden.
Yeah, we are in Let's Hear About Shakespeare week because, as you know, Shakespeare's on the chopping block. We have smug high school teachers all across the country arguing that replacing Shakespeare with Sandra Cisneros is a necessary thing for the lived lives of our student bodies. So Shakespeare is joining Pepe Le Pew and the Cat in the Hat now in problematic areas. So we're going to listen to what some of the greatest poets who ever lived had to say about Shakespeare. And this one is John Dryden. We've already looked at Ben Jonson, arguably one of the great playwrights of the 16th century, no doubt, 17th century. We've also got John Milton, the greatest epic poet to write in English. And now we have John Dryden, one of the great poet critics of the Enlightenment period. Here's what John Dryden had to say about Shakespeare. He was the man who of all modern and perhaps ancient poets had the largest and most comprehensive soul. What do all three of our poets have to say so far? His soul is comprehensive. His soul was capacious. His sensibilities were universal. That he writes things that people understand regardless, let me repeat this, regardless of race, color, gender, creed, religion. That what has been the hallmark of Shakespeare is once you can get kids past the language, which is by itself a useful teaching tool, right? Getting kids to be able to expand their vocabulary, read a more archaic form of English. But if you can get them past that reading barrier, kids of all backgrounds have been able to connect to something in Shakespeare. He, said Dryden, was the man who of all modern and perhaps ancient poets had the largest and most comprehensive soul. But Shakespeare's magic could not copied be. Within that circle, none durst walk but he. He was naturally learned. He needed not the spectacles of books to read nature. He looked inwards and found her there. This goes back to Ben Jonson, who at once famously reported that Shakespeare had small Latin and less Greek. He didn't go to college, we know. He didn't have those fancy schmancy educations, what the elites of this culture had. He learned from studying nature, not necessarily from studying books. And that seems like the kind of message that modern American kids could resonate with. You don't have to have a college degree to be able to do great things. That's not a bad message to send. John Dryden is exactly right, and our woke scolds in the public schools are completely wrong, but we've been dealing with that for 50 years.